All right. Look at you with the branded cup. I love it. Made you some coffee. Okay. So, Chelsea, what's going on? How have you been?
I've been good. I mean, this is normally the time of year where it starts getting busy.
Yeah.
Because everyone ignores me in the last quarter because they want to go ham on Christmas or whatever.
So tell everyone what you do and a little bit of a background on you.
Yeah. So I am the CEO and owner of Via Brio, which
I love the name, by the way.
you.
And I love the branding. I love like everything
Thank
that you've
you.
done recently.
That was a very heart-driven project.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about it a little bit, but my journey in the financial services industry has not been fun.
It seems like it's been a hard, long road for you to get to where you're at.
Yeah. And I had this vision of, like, I went to school for financial planning. So, yeah, I'm a financial planner. And I went to school and I had this vision of, like, what it would look like. And there's, like, no bridge from college and being, like, a trained, basically, financial planner without, like, all the education stuff was done. And then you did case studies and you talked to different people and all these things. So you kind of get, like, a feel for, like, what your business could be. But there's no bridge from there to, like, where I'm at now. So you have to, like...
It's like figure it out yourself. Basically, you're just kind of going blind until you find your footing kind of thing? Is it just like,
It's like you get thrown into a sales job is normally how this works. So like so my class, we had like 12 kids in the financial planning class. And I am like one of, I think it's either 2 or 3 that are still in the industry. So either some of those people went to like accounting, or the other people that went into the industry got totally burned out and like...
I could see how that would happen.
Churn and burned.
Yeah. So what made you... Well, first off, what made you want to get into the industry? And then second, I think what got you through this bridge that was a little bit chaotic.
Yeah. So it's actually kind of funny. I was helping my college roommate find a job on the campus directory jobby thing. And I came across an internship opportunity and it said like, financial services representative or whatever. And it was with an insurance company. But when I went in, I did the interview and I met the guy. I loved him.
Okay.
He was fantastic. He was like going to teach me all these different things. So I learned all about insurance. So I did that while I was in school. And at first I was an accounting major.
Okay.
But then I was like, I don't want to do this. You get to like the intermediate or
You're like,
intermediate accountant.
I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh. I was like,
nothing against accountants, but
no. And I like, there's aspects of accounting that I love, but some of this stuff I was like, why the frick does anyone need to know this? Like, unless you're like a forensic. Well, actually, I feel like part of my job is a forensic accountant, but
I think that's super cool. That's very like Ozarks. I'm like, if I were to do anything else, I would love to do some forensic accounting.
Yeah. I like, honestly, it's fun because like there's that aspect of putting puzzles together.
Yes, the investigative.
Yeah. So I ended up getting that internship. Long story short, I was only in that internship for like 3 months, and the guy that was like the person that brought me in, he was the only person that knew the internship program within the corporation.
Yeah.
And the other 2 partners pushed him out. So I ended up like floating for like a year.
Oh my God.
I like did the insurance classes so much with this company that I basically was able to teach it. So it was good. A lot of my journey, as much as it's like a bunch of so there's a lot of things about my journey that I feel like traumatic, but all of it got me to where I am now fast. So like normally someone in my position now, like they'll build a book and then like blow it up and then go independent. I obviously didn't want to do that, but I'm also like too stubborn to do something that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because normally it's like you get clients, you start managing their money, you sell them stuff, and then you have this whole client base. And then when you decide to go independent, you're going to have a battle with the company that
you were working with.
Yeah. And I mean, like, non-competes, they start poaching clients. Yeah. Like, it is a nightmare. And I went through a little bit of that with like the transition to company, but I was like, you know what? I want to do financial planning. I want to charge for advice. And like, I can build a practice that I want that doesn't look like what has been. And there's like this mentality in our industry where it's like, oh, well, you have to earn your dues or pay your dues or whatever. And I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Which is very like boomery.
Yeah.
Like, you're a millennial. You need to earn your keep and suffer.
Yeah. I'm like, just because. And like, also too, it's like the world was way different back when they started. Cause it's like, yeah, like you had a family support and also like, yeah, you had like to pay for a house, but it was also like $12 for your house. And,
little different today.
Yeah. And like, I mean, to be independent too, the other part of it is like the cost. So like when I jumped into this, it was like $1,200 a month to just exist. Yeah. Like with licensing, insurance requirements, like certain broker dealer and RIA costs that are associated. So I was like, cool, I can like I just breathe in this and have nothing, and it's $1,200 a month.
Which even in real estate, I was a realtor.
I didn't know that.
In another life, I kind of block it out. Sold one house and I was like, fuck this. This is terrible. But even for that, to hang my license, it was like, I found a place. It was like $100 a month. So like, it was still worth it for the year that I did it. But that's a big commitment to something when it's like just to exist and you're not even like where you want to be yet.
Yeah. And like, if you don't know what you're trying to do, because like, I didn't want to, the way that I do business now is like very new, innovative way. And there's only like a handful of advisors that I've met that do it like this.
Yeah.
So normally the conversations that I'm having when I am talking with other advisors, I'll be like, funnels, automation, charging for a fee, like, and they're all like, how?
What?
So that's, and then last year, like, that's what forced me to open, well, it didn't like force, it wasn't like angrily or anything. It was just like, okay, it's time to open up advisor coaching. So now I'm also coaching advisors on how to have like their paradise practice.
Yeah.
Because the ones that did build it up and like they work 80 hours a week, no one wants that. No, I don't want that. Do you want that? I don't want that.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I like work maybe 30 hours a week, but a lot of my systems do a lot of the stuff. And then when I have staff, like I have my assistant, Michelle, she's not scheduling freaking appointments. She's like doing paperwork.
Yeah.
So she's doing more meaningful tasks that actually push the business forward.
Yeah.
Because I paid a $10 a month tech to do all this stupid stuff for me. And then ta-da. And then it's all connected.
So and that's the thing. So that's what I love is like, as much as it's hard to get through that kind of industry. I mean, trust me, like I'm in roofing. Okay. Talk about something that's been run by incompetent boomers for hundreds of years.
Yeah. Don't even get me started.
Sorry. We won't go into that, but like, it's so hard. And especially as a woman, and I'm sure you've, like that's a whole other episode. It's so hard, but then it's like, once you get past it and you get through all the shit, it's like you're an innovator. Like it's so much better, I feel like, to be that person and have to struggle a little bit in the beginning and be the one that's able to help others that think the way that you do and kind of pave that new road, then get into something that's already like overly saturated and you're just, like I love being able to find new ways that like nobody locally has done. Yeah. And, move things. I mean, you would be surprised how many companies are still using like paper and folders and files, and I'm like, what? Like I heard of one the other day that's like a big company, and it was a friend that worked there, and she's like, yeah, they still like they just switched from like using files, and I'm like, So I think too, being here in this area in Southwest Florida, it's so important to think like that.
It is,
because I feel like you can have so much more of an impact because we're just now getting to like having the trendy stuff and having like younger people come in and like mess shit up a little bit and make it more fun. So I love that.
I love it too. I think what's really funny about all of what you just said too is like every like successful millennial or Gen Xer, they're all moving here because they all want like this shiny paradise life where they can work and play. And the pandemic sparked a lot of that because they were like, okay, now I can like work remote and I have easy like access to things. So they're all moving here. And I mean, for those of you who are not in Southwest Florida, there are apartment buildings popping up
everywhere.
Like its own pandemic.
Can we take a second though and like RIP the Target parking lot at Gulf Coast? What is happening there?
Oh my God. They're like
what is
building
happening
a freaking
there?
apartment complex in there.
In a shopping area. And whoever put Gulf Coast together.
Oh God. No.
We know it was a dude that's never gone shopping because to get in and out of that place is like, I feel like I'm the guy in Prison Break. Like I have to tattoo the Gulf Coast map on my body so that I remember how to get out. And you can't turn left. So I can't imagine the shit show it's going to be when there's also like 100 million people living in that building in the middle of the stores and in the back of a Target.
No.
I mean, it's convenient. I love Target.
I know.
Like that must be
Well,
nice.
yeah,
like get
for
up
you,
and be like,
it's just easy to get up and go.
But anyways, so yeah, but yes, continue with the younger people moving here. It's this. I mean, I think people have figured out that it's a beautiful place to live, and it's not like the East Coast.
It's good and bad because I live off of Colonial and
so
6
it's just
Mile
crazy.
And the construction.
So tell me, so getting into like the young people being here, like tell me how you have like revitalized the industry and what your plan is kind of going forward and how you want to change things up and what's important to you and what you do too. Because I feel like finances, I mean, it's still something that we don't talk about enough. And like you said, it's changed so much since houses were $12. And a lot of people still don't understand. Like they don't, and especially younger, you know, Gen Z, I don't even think they know how to start planning out because it seems so not feasible to them. Like they're like, I can't even afford a house. What does it matter?
Yeah. Or they make $1 million on TikTok and it doesn't matter.
Or that, you bastards. And OnlyFans.
No. So I like for me, like I saw there were a couple of things that I was seeing. So like I realized that a lot of the high achieving clients that I have, most of the conversations start with like, so like if I had to say like who the ideal audience is for like what I offer, it's like an aspiring entrepreneurial female, or they're already a business owner and they're like, you know, like they took the leap from corporate and they're like running so fast that they look up and they're like, oh shit, wait, I probably should look at my money stuff. Like they just went all in. Or like they're like, I'm too afraid to take the leap. I need to know the numbers. So what I noticed was when I was doing financial planning like lightly, there was something, it was like a huge disconnect. It was like I was telling people what to do, but they weren't doing what I was saying.
That's really hard in coaching too. So like,
yes,
they have to want it more than you want it for them.
Right. So a lot of the aspects of my, like what I'm doing is yes,
I mean, you're coaching in finance. Yeah. Because they have to, at the end of the day, they're the ones that have to decide.
Right. But then I started noticing that I was like, okay, well, everyone's having like different cool parts about their experience. But I was like, I want to bring like a framework where everybody experiences at least these things, and then the customizations come in with as far as like
so you have your own like structure of okay, here are the key points, here are the things we need to consider. So could you touch on like what are some things going into entrepreneurship, or let's say you're an entrepreneur in the first couple of years, you're starting to make money, what are a few things that you recommend them starting to think about that you help with your clients?
So taxes. So I don't so I don't do taxes, but I do tax planning. It's like taxes, separating business and personal.
Yeah.
And mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are like the top 3. Cuz like So I started specializing in behavioral finance because what I noticed was people weren't following through with the recommendations. And it was because of a money block or because of a bias that they have against
let's get
how
into
they were.
that.
Yeah.
We're going to get extra cozy. I love this shit.
I like coziness. So.
Okay, so what do you see and what do you recommend to shift that? Because I do think that so much of money is really how you view money, how you were raised to see money, and how great Dave Ramsey is. I'm just kidding.
Like, because I cannot.
I'm totally fucking up, kidding.
I cannot stand him.
Okay, me neither.
But mostly because, like, okay, like the concepts aren't terrible. But the problem is that they never been updated since the 80s.
Exactly.
So it's like, the world is so stressful right now that if I ever told somebody that they couldn't go out to eat because they have debt, like, I deserve to be punched in the face.
Deprivation mentality.
Yeah, because that never works.
And
that's traumatizing.
And it's coming from a place of lack. So tell me about what you suggest for people who do think that way, because so much of it is like how your parents handled money. So like, let's say your parents were always struggling financially. So you're always going to be thinking of like money as something that you need and you don't have.
Yes.
Versus that mentality of abundance. Money comes and goes. Money's flowing to me. So how do you recommend like starting to shift if I want to think about it differently?
Yeah. So in the actual, like, so my financial planning practice, like there's a signature offer, and the signature offer is Money Alignment Partnership, MAP for short. But the reason, this is like the process that everyone has to go through. So it goes through awareness, and there's 3 different types of awareness. There's financial awareness, behavioral awareness, and then self-awareness. So, and it's like general overall. So like the things that I hit on are, I have a fancy quiz that tells you what type of bull you are. You remember us talking about that like way back?
Yes, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have everyone take that quiz, and everyone focuses on like the color, which is fine. Because it tells you like how you think and how you kind of like work. So the reason I do that, especially because in like financial conversations with spouses is a fun thing. So most of my clients, they come to me and they're like 2 competing biases and thought processes. So like spender saver.
Yeah.
And then because they don't know like how to have that conversation and how to work together, that's why they always butt heads and they get divorced. So part of it is like saving marriages, and the other part of it, no
big deal. I just like save marriages too. While
I know.
I'm like helping them with
honestly,
money.
it's like I'm a therapist.
Seriously,
I'm a financial planner,
and it's like nowadays everything you do, working with younger generations, you are part therapist,
right?
Because there's so much of that emotional need.
It is, yeah, and trauma plays a lot in money. So I just had that conversation yesterday, but. So the reason why I was like, this is instrumental in my practice is because, in this quiz, I am a blue bull. But my boyfriend, bless his heart, is an orange bull. Okay. So on like the chart, he is the exact opposite of me.
Okay.
So we were butting heads about like money things, just like regular conversations. And like, because I'm like, everything's working out and I see it in the big picture. And he's like, how are you getting from A to B?
Same. I get that. I relate to that.
Yeah. So like we were competing. So then when I noticed, I was like, oh, he doesn't understand what I'm saying. Or like he can't relate to it. So then I had to start tailoring my conversations where like we were fighting about money. Because that happens with financial planners too. Okay.
But obviously you're right. You're the financial planner. You're the one that's right always.
Actually, I literally said that to a client yesterday. It was so funny. She's like, you're right. And I was like, I know.
That's literally my job, bitch. Don't argue with me.
Yes. No. So I have a lot of fun in my job, as you can tell. But yeah, so in that quiz as well, though, it shows like your strengths, your opportunities, and then all these different biases. So like this shows you the top 3. So like different biases could be like recency bias is a big one because recency bias basically says that you make financial decisions based on past events. Like if you had money in the market during 2001 tech bubble.
It's like trauma.
Right.
So it's like financial trauma basically because then you're just so worried that's going to happen again. So then you're going to like not make any kind of big
anytime
decisions.
It's like PTSD. So it's like anytime an event comes up where you see there could be a drop, you want to pull out of the market.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad and I, we have this joke because that actually like is one of his biases. And I'll be like, you are not allowed to make any decisions because you buy high and sell low. Because he is terrible at like figuring out when the right time is for anything. And
shout out to Dad.
Yeah.
Dad, also, over listening.
Yeah. Investing in the lottery too is a big thing. So, and actually it's funny. I was on the phone with him before I got here. He's like, send me the link for this so I can watch it.
Dad.
Hi, Dad. Don't hate me.
Well, now you have to say something nice about him.
Oh, well, he's my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. He's great. He's my dad. And he's also a business owner too.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of like when we joke around. It's like, I got it from him.
Yeah.
Like, and I had like a dog sitting business or pet sitting business. And every time there's a garage sale, we had like lemonade and coffee. And
I love how that seems to be so prominent. Like when the parents are entrepreneurs, it just like naturally, you just kind of go into that mindset. Yeah. I love that. And I'm so excited for my kids to feel that way, like feel empowered to start something on their own.
Part of like my favorite parts of my childhood was when we went to, because he's a dry cleaner. So we would go to the plant and my brother and I would play through the laundry rack. So the thing that goes brrr. So like we'd either like,
those things are so cool.
We would like hide in between clothes, but it's like it doesn't make any sense because you can see your feet. But like that's what we would do, and then we'd like hit the button and then like attempt.
You just gave me like a core memory flashback. I remember like as a kid thinking that was just the coolest thing ever. Like it was so technologically advanced, like with the ticket system and how it spins, and I'd just be like, this is awesome.
Yeah, no, for real. So like the favorite times of my childhood, I think, were like this is my dad's, and like I can play in here and like look at different things. And like actually my first job was cleaning shoes and handbags that were in fires because I used to do a lot of fire orders. So like,
oh my gosh,
if items need to be like made new, and they just have like soot and all of that on them from fires,
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, well,
because that'll destroy some shit.
Made some good money from insurance companies.
I set my apartment on fire once. Hey Megan, my best friend, almost killed both of us.
I love how you said that in a way that's like a little psychotic.
I was making cookies for her birthday and I got so wrapped up in writing her a beautiful card.
Oh, that you didn't look at
that. I forgot about the cookies. And then I went to turn them off, and instead of turning it off, I turned it to broil, and it's just a whole thing that we're not going to rehash right now, but fire does destroy things.
Really funny. I actually had that issue with the broiler with sausage. Literally 2 days ago.
I don't use broil anymore. It terrifies me.
It terrifies me too.
But back to when you have those biases.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Like I love
sausages. See, but that's what I love about this. It's just like convo, just chill combos.
Love this. Plus the cozy blankets. And
I'm so glad you're here.
When I walked in here, because they all need to know this, when I walked in here and I saw this setup and like I saw like what we were gonna do, I was like, there's a girl on TikTok that reads like, am I an asshole? Like,
and I was like, two hot takes.
Yeah,
I love her.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is the only person that I actually like follow, and same with you.
Yeah.
Like I follow them to hear these am I an asshole thing, and I don't even have Reddit.
I don't either, but it's
my boyfriend's all in it.
It's such a great concept.
Yes.
So maybe we'll tag her and she'll see it. But we love you, two hot takes, and you helped inspire me to do a podcast because I just love the. And you hear some crazy shit on that too. Oh my God. So what are some other biases that you can have? And well, also how do you work on that? Is it just like one? You said the awareness. So like one, you have to be aware that you're thinking that way because of a bias. It's not because it's reality.
Right. So coaching.
Yeah.
So there's like parts, and like I love this company that has put together this like this whole concept. It was like, this is what's missing in financial planning is the behavioral finance science behind all of these things. Because if you think about it, like big picture, any type of market fluctuation is literally human emotion. Because if people are making decisions based on how they feel, whether it's like they're like the stock's gonna hit or whatever, that they're literally using their emotions to make decisions. So it's literally a pool of every freaking person's emotion.
Yeah, and then you have men.
A whole other thing. But yeah, so biases and such. So a lot of things come with that, because I mean it's like how you communicate about money. What do you avoid? Like all the like how you best make decisions, and like when you're not yourself, like what will show up. Like, are you stressed? Are you angry? So then I went and took it a step further. So like in the general self-awareness, I make everyone pull their human design profile.
Love it.
Their Enneagram.
You're a man gen, right?
No, I'm a projector. That's why I'm tired all the time.
I'm a generator.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about it, but
So do you know your numbers?
2-4.
Okay, well that makes sense. Okay, so
Whatever that means. Yeah, you're a 2-4.
I have gotten like really into this, because what sparked a lot of the change of how I do stuff was because I was constantly freaking bitter about everything.
Yeah.
And one of the not self themes of a projector is bitterness.
Oh.
Yeah. And then our like alignment is like the feeling of success.
Okay.
So I was doing all these things that like just made me want to punch people in the face. And I was working with people that I wanted to punch in the face. And I was like, fuck this. Like, I'm here to guide to the next whatever like fancy spiritual word it is. But like there's an evolution that is happening in our workplaces, in our economy, in how people make money. Like there's just so many different things that are happening. And I was like, I want to be in the position to best guide people that like to where they want to go. And
so is that kind of like how you can make up for that bitterness? It's like you can be angry about how it is, or you can be part of changing it.
well, so the not self theme. So for a generator, it's frustration. So you'll get like super frustrated about things.
No.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated right now about stuff.
Yeah. So frustration is really like in bitterness. So like whatever human design profile, like if you haven't pulled your human design profile, I know it's woo, just do it.
I love woo.
So some people are like woo, no woo. And like,
I think it's good to be half and half. And you're that way too. It's like, I love data. Like half data, half woo woo.
right.
Yeah.
Right. But that those not self themes kind of just tell you like, do you need, like, it's an indicator of what needs to change. So for me, I was like bitter about my partners and I was working with in several different aspects. I was bitter because I built my practice by working part-time for like 1,000 years, it felt like. So I was bitter because I was like not getting any rest. And like a big thing for projectors is rest. So this is my vibe.
Good.
But having all of these like indicators, I was like, okay, well, this isn't working. So I needed to start changing it. So my profile numbers are 4-6. So it's the 4 in common that we got.
What does that mean?
Is a connection. So basically we're friends with everybody and we do business with friends.
Oh.
Yeah. And like we thrive in networking environments.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah. So like having fun and doing fun things with people helps us move forward. And then for me, the 6 is the role model. So what's funny about that is like there is another profile number 3, which is like the martyr. So they've been through it. They share their experience. That's how they like get into self-theme. And so the 6 profile, it's like you are teaching by example. And you will show up as the leader and all that stuff, which I was like, oh, this makes sense. So like the more I dug into this, the more this made sense. But there's stages of being in that profile. So like up until you're 30, you're like in the experimental phase. So you're like testing things, trying things. When you're in your 30s to your 50s, you're in the like, okay, like we're buckling down. We've made something and it's working and we're really like having a blast. And then 50 plus is where like your wisdom comes in and like you are sought out for things. So it's like funny because I was like, well, this makes sense so far because my entire 20s was basically building this.
Yeah.
And now
I love being in my 30s.
I'm like, how old am I? 31? You love how it like blurs. I'm like, I don't even
after
know.
30, I'm not counting.
Yeah. So we're 30.
Yeah.
So like the minute that I turned 30, everything started falling together. It was so weird.
Yeah.
But it makes total sense. But then also part of being a projector is like my energy levels go up and down. And I also like can go like, I mean, God, we're doing it now. Like go really deep and start like really like I hate like hi, how are you? How's the weather?
Oh,
yeah. And like
I'm not
that's
a small talk person,
right? And
I
that's
say
like
something fucked up right off the bat, and then I see how you react, and then that's how I determine.
And I love that because I do very similar things. If I don't want to meet someone at a networking event, I say I'm a financial advisor.
If you don't want to meet someone,
yeah, because honestly, there's nothing better than there's a power to saying you're a financial advisor because everyone avoids you.
Well, people avoid you, I think, because I think a lot of people ruined the name. Just like business coaching. When I even hear business coach, sometimes I want to throw like because it's just been like destroyed by people that don't know what they're doing or like actual pyramid schemes.
Right.
There was someone here locally that did it and destroyed the term.
I feel like I know who that
You do know. Everyone knows. Who cares?
Yeah.
Nothing to hide here.
But for like, you know, this whole like projector thing, like I figured out that the way I was working wasn't working for me. So I was like, you know what? I started doing all the automations because I was like, a lot of this work is tedious and it can literally be taken by like a zap.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? I was like, yes, please. So my tech stack is fixed, like expense. So literally everything's laid out and like anything from.
Did you delegate? So you had someone do that and just like handle it all?
Nope, I built it.
You did it? That's awesome.
Yeah. Because part of it was like I had to do it within a compliant format.
Oh, yeah.
So like when I first built Map, it was all through an email campaign. So all of those pieces were approved. There's all the links and whatnot. Now it's on the back end of my website, which I was like, this is like the future of everything. Eventually I'll make it like a video library. Right now they're just PDFs.
That's so cool.
But I built it that way so basically like going back to the process and like what everybody walks through. So they walk through all the stages of awareness and then we talk about like what building their foundation looks like. A lot of people need to rebuild their foundation. By the time they get through the awareness, they're like, oh, like if they have a business, they're like, oh, it's completely structured like against me. Or I'm like paying for stuff that I really don't need.
So how do you go about that? Because it sounds like very daunting. Like what is the step that you would take and like, okay, I got to redo my life.
So as all that's happening, I am going through all their financials.
Okay.
So they get a financial awareness piece, but I also get a financial, but like I deep dive. So I'm looking at transactions. I'm looking at business and personal. And then I'm also looking at and understanding their business.
I'd be like, you're going to see way too much Starbucks on there.
Oh my God. If Starbucks is fucking up your finances.
I know. I love that post that you did.
Not
but it's like,
Starbucks.
I know. I have no shame.
Yeah.
But like, would I want it like on a screen that God. It's like Starbucks? No.
But you know what? I'm like, I don't even give a shit. So like normally it's not even Starbucks. It's the fact that you don't have a plan. Yeah. But yeah, so then they walk through all of that and then we go into like, what's the dream? What are your goals? What are we trying to accomplish? And then by around that point, now I'm talking to them about their relationship with habits and money. So habits drive and behavior.
So if
drive a lot of
someone
these things.
is in that place of like, it's never enough money, I will never have enough money, I've never had enough money, money is scarce.
Right.
What's the first step that they can take towards switching that? Because it's so hard when you're conditioned, especially when it's like something from childhood.
Right. Coaching.
So just like, what's an example of something to think about?
So if I have somebody who's coming to me that is in that mindset, normally it's funny because normally that comes from somebody that's already making a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swear to God. Like, it's the funniest thing because it's like, it's showing and giving perspective that what's real is not what you are feeling and thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, so I had my own money story that also was inspired by why I do this the way I do, because it's funny because it's like there's the next best step is always digging deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're asking like what's the step that we take, and all it's digging deeper. And then lining up the exact finances of what they currently are and showing where you want everything to be, and then building that path. So that path is a financial plan.
Mm-hmm. And also what daily habits are reinforcing those beliefs
exactly.
that you have. Because like, for example, someone who's like, I can't afford to pay my bills, I don't have enough money,
right.
will also be the person that when a bill comes, they're going to avoid it. And then they're going to end up having like a past due fee. Mm-hmm. So they're like it's this self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's just crazy how many little things we'll do that just keeps perpetuating that belief when it's a matter of like little habits that we can change.
Right. Right. And honestly, a lot of the scarcity mindset, sorry, I'm like burping now.
No, you're fine.
A lot of that scarcity mindset, like it can be real, but it also can't be real. Because if you get into scarcity mindset, it triggers all of these behaviors that like make you stick there.
Exactly.
So like, for example, like, you know how it is. Like business sometimes is not fun. Sometimes like you have a shift in your business and it puts you on your back. Mm-hmm. So if you are experiencing loss of revenue and you go into panic mode, and then all you're doing is figuring out another debt obligation to fix your problem. One, it's more complicated to go about that. Mm-hmm. Two, it's going to cost you more to go about that. And now all you're thinking about is how can I find more of my problem to get out of my problem? Yeah. So it is always going to be easier to find more revenue. So some of this is like literally it's constant. Like, so once people
I like how you worded that though, because you made it so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're taking the emotion out. Like it's literally easier to find another revenue stream than to go about it in that.
Right. And there's so much to it too. So like if you're not getting clients for the thing that you love, because your messaging is off, or like, or you're not even like really telling people like what you're doing, because you spent so much time worrying about how to like pay Peter by robbing Paul.
Yeah.
You're not even doing the thing that's going to put you into alignment. So that's where like all this coaching comes in. So like these things come up that they don't go away. You just learn and strengthen your toolbox to handle. So, and I just learned that like, I built this way because I was like, all of these things fall into money. And if I can be a resource or find a resource for my client to get them what they need so that we can strengthen their financial plan, I'm going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I was like, okay, I'm paying this coach. I'm using some of their tidbits to help my clients, and I'm paying this coach and I'm getting some of the tidbits to help with like, you know, mindset or whatever. And that's what's making the difference, because I want someone coming to me and either like someone could come to me and feel like they're doing okay with their finances, and that's totally fine. But I want to get them to the next level. Yeah. And I want them to have a full transformational experience. So whether like something's off about how you think about money, there's missed opportunities because like, you know, you're in your day-to-day, your business, and you can't think about it. Or like things are going really well in the business and you have no idea how to take the next step with like benefits and stuff. Like I want to keep people transforming. So like this MAP concept, it's a 6-month process.
Okay.
But financial planning never ends.
Yeah.
So I do have a continuation where it's like, you know, subscription monthly, and it's like unlimited access basically to me. And we do quarter reviews and we continue to do that. And then if they want solutions, because plans and products are not the same thing. If someone tells you that your life insurance is your plan, your financial plan, fucking run, please. That is the most unhealthy thing in the world, because like insurance and products and all that stuff fit into your financial plan. They are not your financial plan side thing.
I think so much of it is people are so used to thinking in the short term versus the long term. Whether it's just business, life, it's that instant gratification. If you start a business, and this is something that Instagram promotes that I fucking hate, is like 7 figures in 1 year, $1 million. I did this in 3 months. I did this. And it just creates this pressure. And so you're already in the wrong state of mind because you're just thinking dollar signs first.
Right.
And so you're sacrificing your integrity. You're sacrificing the plan. And then everything's going to backfire eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Versus.
Well, also, like, you have a lot of growth. What are you doing with this money? Because it's not about how much you make or how much revenue you make. Because, hell, if you're not set up properly as a business, and you could fucking pay all that money to taxes.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, it doesn't, like, revenue is important, 1,000%. But if you don't know what that revenue means to you, like, that's the problem. But yeah, no, I also hate, like, and the other one is like, oh, so Beyonce has the same hours in the day that you do. Cool. Beyonce also has a full freaking team.
Yeah.
And they, they
gosh.
help her get from A to B. So I don't care.
I don't
24
even
hours.
like her music. I don't even think her music is that good.
It was good. I feel like it's just gotten like,
Yeah.
There's some songs I still jam to.
But no, I agree with you. I agree. And I think.
Or the, oh my God. Oh, I just did this freaking the other day because I got so frustrated seeing it. I like literally screenshot this freaking woman in her post. And then I was like, why am I following this? I don't even know.
What was it?
She was like, it's been like it's so pre-pandemic too. That's what's funny about it. She was like, oh, like you want to have time freedom, but you're watching Netflix at night. Like it costs you $100 to start a business, but you spend $200 going out to eat.
Oh,
and like all that shit.
Those. I just saw one the other day that really pissed me off.
Right, because I'm like, last time I checked, like all of this just comes back to what exactly is it that you want, and is it aligned to it? Because I'm sorry, the people that do that are MLMs. There are people.
There are some,
that,
not all.
Right.
Not all of them.
There are some businesses that strong arm like MLM products in their business. That is a business. You getting inventory to sell, that's sales. That is not a business.
Mic drop.
Right. Because like Sopata was
Chelsea's
like
getting spicy.
Yeah, I'm very opinionated.
I love it.
I'm getting like more comfortable being like,
I know.
I love my
30s. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
Stupid.
I'm over it.
Over it.
But you know what? Like, yeah, y'all can come at me. The whole point of this was that, like, understanding, like, just the basic awareness of, like, what exactly does this all mean? So, like, if this company goes out of business, like Sopata, remember Sopata? It was like a jewelry thing. My mom used to have like this Sopata parties.
I feel like if I saw it.
Yeah. It was like just different types of jewelry.
Yeah.
It was like, but it's like not costume, but like in between. And like they would have like the Tupperware or whatever.
Yeah.
And so if that company goes out of business, you no longer have residual revenue.
It's like that. What was the legging? Have you seen the documentary?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that was a good doc, though.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, these things like can blow up in your face because you literally have no control.
But all it wasn't even sales. It was inventory.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it was just like all fake. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy.
Yeah, no, for real. But I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm always 1,000% going to just be like, if you are serious about being next level in your business, you got to build your bench.
And I want to say something too that I want to throw out there for anyone on Instagram or is like hesitant or like wants to join something but doesn't know. Like, you can reach out to us and be like, hey, is this legit? Mm-hmm. Is this something that I should like join?
Yeah.
And I will always happily be like,
yeah,
no.
That's like, I actually have someone was like, look, like, I'd rather you call me before you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Then you make the mistake and then we have to plan to fix it.
Yeah.
So if you just need like words of wisdom, like, I'd rather you like talk to me about it and I just echo it back and then you decide.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like
the Wild West out there.
Yeah, there's just too much to not have a bench full of people that you could talk to.
Yeah.
Like every successful corporations, like, you want to know how they get out a lot of things? They have a very full bench. They have attorneys, CPAs, planners, investment advisors, like all these different people who are experts in things.
And it's like, it's not doing you any favors to try to be an expert in every area. It's like people wear it like a badge of honor that they do all of their own things. And yes, it is necessary in the beginning stages when you have no choice and you have to run everything. But the second that you have the ability to delegate, hire out, automate, you are stupid for not doing it.
Yeah.
Because opportunity cost wise, it's costing you so much more, keeping you out of your zone of genius because I understand finance is a decent amount. I can do it. Okay, you can do it. Congratulations. But can you do it as well as someone who did it for 20 years and has helped a million people and has a million perspectives and has different plans? Like, how much is it really helping you?
Right. I think the biggest thing, I'm up against Google. Google. I'm like, this little piggy's a little cold. Why is
You'll get us more views with your feet exposed. That's what I tell people. Like, if you want to just like put it out there occasionally, people love feet.
So I'm going to embarrass myself. It's not embarrassing. I think it's funny. So, you can't tell.
There you go.
Like, so I have bunions. To make my mom to make me feel better, she's like, well, your feet have curves. They're sexy. So I always make jokes. I'm like, I have a sexy feet.
Sexy feet.
So I'm like, does OnlyFans have like a bunion section?
I bet they do.
Probably do.
People are weird. I would not be surprised.
The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know about our feet.
But if this doesn't tell how cool we are to work with, I don't know.
I know. And that's another thing that I'd like to dive into is just I love that I feel like there is a little bit of a shift, but there's definitely a need. Why does business have to be boring, stick up your ass, like serious? Like, why can't you be taken seriously and also be able to joke or cuss occasionally? And like, why does every event, it's like you have to be like, super dressed up and super professional? What's the fun in that? Like, that's not fun for me. I don't like going to any like old timey business suit and tie type. Like, why?
I don't either. And I think I pushed the envelope a little bit on this. Like, I wear jeans to everything. Like, I'll play up like jeans and a t-shirt or whatever. And I'm like, It doesn't matter, because this was my big beef too about like getting into the industry, because it was like, dress for the job that you want. I'm like, whatever. My college professor, Dr. Benton, if he's watching this has stuck with me for years. We're Facebook friends. So he was like the most badass guy you will ever meet. He was in, was it the Navy or the Army? I'm sorry, I don't remember. But he was a JAG attorney.
Okay.
He's a CPA. He's a CFP. And when he walks into a room, he has his little reading glasses on, biker boots, jeans for like biking, like, and I mean like vroom vroom, like Harley. Okay.
Not the Peloton.
No.
He's way cooler than that.
Yeah, no, for real. I'm like, you are something to aspire to. But like, he has like a white t-shirt on and you can see his tattoos.
Oh, I love tattoos.
And I was like,
I love a guy with tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah. But
love
he
anyone
also
with tattoos.
would like
I have tattoos.
He would say the funniest shit, like the most non-PC things. So like, but the one thing that he said that's always stuck to me, which I've always been like, my advice and what I know in my brain is not something that should be reflected in what I wear, because that means absolutely shit.
Yeah. Like, I just want to be comfy.
Yeah.
And myself, and that's when I feel myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm like out for an event, it's like pants and a cute top. And I think that also reflects that I don't fit into the business mold. And I hope that people that feel that way feel more comfortable talking to me because, oh, she's kind of like me. Like she, you know, she doesn't really care about that. Exactly. So like whatever reflects your personality. And if that's something crazy and weird, so what? You're going to find people that are also crazy and weird. And why wouldn't you want to find people that align with you? And I I think starting a business, you feel like you have to put yourself into these environments or around those people, like just naturally, because you're like so desperate to network and meet. Oh my God, I've just exited those situations. If I can feel that from someone, I have nothing to prove. Like I don't feel like I have to be like, oh, look at my car, this much money. And sometimes that can be. Sometimes I need to humble brag more because sometimes like they do need to hear that, but not in like a, oh, look at me kind of way. Right. But I think I'm just so turned off by it that I'll like not share about my story because I don't want to come off that way because I literally don't care.
Yeah. But like you are the example. And like I've said this to you before. I was like, oh, you're my ideal client. Did you know that?
I'll have to talk to you later about that.
But like you left corporate. Because of very terrible reasons.
Sexual harassment.
Yes. And a lot of women experience this. You were like, you know, you're not alone. Yeah. Some of them feel like trapped by their work anyway. So they don't take, you were like, fuck this, I'm out. Yeah. And then your husband wanted to build a roofing business, right? And then you freaking built it. Yeah. And you guys are one of the biggest roofers in the area.
Thank you.
And like, she is like fucking bomb. And then she took something. Yeah. You took something that you went through all by yourself. And now you're out there helping other women do it right. Fuck yeah. That's big.
Oh God, you're going to make me cry.
Yeah, that's okay. You can cry. But then I'll cry and then you'll cry and we'll just cry together.
Sweet. Thank you for saying that.
But for real, like you're a big fucking deal.
Thank you. And so are you.
Oh, well, thanks.
No, but seriously, like going through, especially in an industry where it's male dominated and it's like built to chew you up and spit you out.
You guys did see the brand, right? Okay.
I have brand positioning right there.
Like put it so.
But no, thank you for saying that. And I do think we need to step into that more as women of like, I did this because you can too.
Right.
And because if you feel like this, you can get out too. And that's how I want to position it.
And that's actually, and it's really funny you say that because that's actually my mission in Via Brio is bringing, so my impact elevates and empowers that woman entrepreneur. And then she goes and passes it on. So all we're doing is just building a strong line of powerful women that own their businesses, they own their shit, they are like working on their finances, they just do all this great stuff, and then they're examples to the next. Because I think most businesses fail because they're too stuck in the day-to-day of like scramble, but also I don't think it's support. Like I feel like I'm an enigma because I'm just too fucking stubborn to quit when I have my like eye on something. People
but you didn't have a lot of support. You did a lot of it.
Oh yeah, no, I had
completely by yourself.
I have support now,
but I'm saying when it was the hardest, it's like you were alone. Yeah,
and then too, like the title, it scares people off, and especially like I would make jokes like one Christmas, like mid my like journey, so my family does like the Seven Fishes Christmas Eve dinner in Philly. I haven't been there in a long time because who the fuck wants to come up into Philadelphia in the winter, but also who wants to pay the fucking flight fees to go up for one night and then come back. But one Christmas I got in the car and my mom's like, don't bring up anything with your business. And she didn't mean it as mean as it sounded, which is kind of like her MO. And you didn't hear that, Mom. So she's like, don't bring up anything about your business. And I was like, why would I bring anything up about my business? She's like, I just don't want people to feel like they have to buy anything from you.
Oh my
and Lord. I was like, okay, well, I mean, they probably should buy something for me.
Be like, but I brought my Monet for a reason,
yeah.
Mom.
But it was like, you know, when I first got into all of this, they were like, you're an insurance salesperson. I
hate that it's done that.
Right. But my brain was like, no, I'm a financial planner, but I'm selling insurance primarily right now while I get all these other tools in my box. So like, I always have had the mentality of like, this is it. Like, I was like, we're just going to move as fast as we can to have our own practice, to have the support that we actually need, and to make the money we want. And I mean, like, oh my God, even when I start talk about like brainwashed mentality of the traditional way of doing things. When I first started charging a fee, and I started charging like a little bit lower, or actually a lot lower than what I'm doing now. And when I built out MAP and I started doing the subscription model, I was like talking to, I'm like trying to figure out how to, like one of my support partners about this. And I was like, this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. And I was like, I want you to know so that if you ever get asked about it, like that's how it's running. Yada, yada. And literally I say all this great stuff about what I've created. And the response back was, but I don't know how you're going to make money.
I hate people.
And I was like, I charge for my time.
That's a lesson too, is the people that you expect to understand it the most will probably understand it the least. And the people that are closest to you are going to be the first to like make you feel like shit about yourself sometimes.
1,000%. Yeah.
So you have to be prepared for that.
It took me a long time. And I would say like it really was only like in the past year where I'm like, now I don't talk about my business with my family.
Yeah.
Like I'll let them know when it's good. I'll let them know when I need opportunity. I actually took my mom to a conference that I was asked to speak at. Yeah. Like, not last year, the year before. She came last year because then she realized that they were all like at Gaylord resorts and she's like, yay, free vacation. And I was like, cool, business deductible for me, I'm on vacation. And also she's like the type of person that like, she'll make her own friends. And she'll go and sit by the pool by herself.
Like set her free.
Yeah, like you don't have to do that check-in.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some people you have to like check in on them. So I'm like, yeah, she'll go do her thing. I'm like, hey, I'll be in session until like 5 or whatever. And she came, and I remember I showed up at the conference in shorts overalls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got so many fucking compliments about how cute I was in my shorts overalls too. And they makes like they were like the pattern where you look like you need a like train conductor hat and a whistle.
Oh, cute.
So I was like, yeah, I'm a little train conductor. But I started meeting, like I introduced my mom to all of these different teams and like the fintech company that makes that quiz with the behavioral tools. I'm like really close to the team. Like the CEO I feel like is a very good friend of mine. And so I introduced my mom to the CEO of this fintech company, and they were like, it's not like I asked them to say anything, but they just kept raving about me. So everyone that she met, she was like, what the hell? They're like, Chelsea is a disruptor. She's an innovator. She's going to do great things. Like, so like, they're all like, Chelsea's great. We love her. And then, so my mom, and I didn't know this, she did this, she told me like later, she texted my brother and my boyfriend in a group text and said, Chelsea is exactly where she's supposed to be. Aww. She's like, this is her thing. And because I said for years, I was like, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. And risk, and that's a whole other thing. Risk tolerance for people, they're two different. There's risk with like taking, market decisions and like what you're investing in. But like perception of risk has been a huge thing with my family because there's entrepreneurs and then there's employees. So like the mindset's completely different.
Yeah.
Like great, same thing with John. Like he's an employee mindset. He will think of other ways to bring in income outside, but he doesn't view it as a business. The minute that it gets viewed as a business, he wants to throw up. Like, I swear to God. I'm like, hell yeah, this is a great decision. We're gonna like I'm gonna build this thing, and yep, this is what's happening. And it's risky. And I know. Like when the pandemic happened, oh my God, that was so funny. He was like, you and your business, it's going to be so bad. Oh my God. He's like, you're going to lose clients. And I was like, John, are you kidding me? This is like a candy store. Like everybody's going to be thinking about their money now.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, the pandemic helped me.
No. And that's awesome. And I think it's good sometimes to have that balance, but
Sometimes
I bet
it just sucks.
yeah.
Yeah. Cause it's like, then you second guess yourself.
Well, then in that case,
then,
no.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I
then,
guess it's not good. I'm just kidding. I take that back.
well,
That
no,
was a mistake.
it's
no,
good.
but it's not when you're not when you're an entrepreneur, another, or not when you think, because I think you do have to have that self-trust. And when I was leading by like what makes sense or what other people said or thought, even my husband, like it never felt right. It didn't work out.
Right.
And it's when you let that go and you're like, I'm doing what feels right.
Honestly.
And I know it's going to work out.
I think, honestly, not doing what I've wanted to do for years is the reason why it's taken so long. I should have said, fuck it and done it sooner.
I actually was one of the first like business coaches back in 2016.
That's right. Yeah.
And I would have that's when I started my first business. And I wasn't I was still like post trauma of like everything that happened, like corporate. I was not ready.
Right.
Mentally, I was not ready. But if I had if I had just kept going, because I felt something and it never goes away. Like it's not going to go away until you do it, until you do what you're really feeling inside. Like even if it doesn't make sense to anybody else or even doesn't fully make sense to you. And I'm like, damn, I could have been like one of the OGs.
Yeah.
But, everything happens for a reason. I learned so much. Everything happens for a reason. But don't listen to other people.
No. But, yeah, it's definitely funny, two perspectives. Because, like, when John... so, my business is, like, hard to explain because of, like, how things get paid. And, like, there's filters, basically. And then, there's the bottom. And there's, like, the regulated stuff. And then the non-regulated stuff. And, when I told him how much I charge, he was like, I wouldn't hire you based on that price because he's like, you cost too much. And I'm like, bitch, I'm $350 an hour, like minimum.
Yeah.
And but oh my God, it was so funny because he was like, what? You charge what? And then like I don't even think I don't think he's processed either on like the advisor coaching side, like how much I charge. I'm like, yeah, like I'm a big fucking deal.
Yeah. And you have to tell yourself that too.
Right.
At the end of the day, you have to believe that no matter what. You have to build your confidence. I think confidence is the number one thing in any business that you need to build. Because if you're not confident, it's not. But
it's like, you have to like pretty much come to center a lot and be like, am I doing what I want to do? And like, do I care if anybody doesn't care? Because I always say, I'm like, wait until you are a retired pet dad and then you can come talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, I know where I'm going. I know exactly how this is structured. I know exactly how I want it to run. And like everything's done. All the building is done. So like you say something like, oh, after this, everything's profit. And he's like, I don't even understand what that means. And I'm like, more money in my pocket, bitch. Like,
I love it. I love it. And I love your mentality. And I love that you came on here.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to have you to hang out with.
Thank you.
But thanks for sharing. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Thanks for listening.
Guys,
I talk a lot.
No, I do too. We could be here. If it were up to me and not my stupid camera. Oh. Thank you so much for coming on, Chelsea.
Thank you.
Bye.